Looking for first date questions that'll stand out and have you lingering on his mind? Well, let me help you put a twist on the norm with 5 first date questions he won't see coming. Let's talk about it. Hey ladies, Ty Harris here of Total Love Makeover, helping the dateless woman and the woman who finds herself in dead-end relationships revive her love life. Here on this channel, I offer practical but real tips to help you attract, date, and keep the kind of love you really want. So if that sounds appealing to you, girl, make sure to subscribe. Also, at any point in this video, if you want to know more about me, Total Love Makeover, or how we may work together, go ahead and look in the YouTube description notes below. Let's get it going. So the first typical first date question is always, so what do you do? Sure, you want to know what he does, but that's so boring and expected. Here's a Total Love Makeover twist on typical question number 1. I could ask you what you do for a living, but that would be boring. So instead, I'll ask, what for you would be so amazing that you'd almost feel guilty about getting paid to do it? This is a really good twist to first date question number 1, because not only do you get to hear about his passion, but you get a little breadcrumb you can put in your back pocket should you guys continue to date. For instance, if he tells you he would love to be a sports radio broadcaster, few dates in, you can send him a text like this. So I'm driving home from work and I scanned past sports radio. I would have stayed to listen, but the voice just wasn't yours. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, I really do want to know what he does. Girl, I got you. After he talks about his dream job, go ahead and slip this in. So how does that compare to what you do now? Aha! A tasty little follow-up like that gives you a chance to hear what he does in comparison to what he loves to do. Typical first date question number 2. So where are you from? Honestly, I'm not sure if we really want to know where they're from or we just think it's something we're supposed to ask. But either way, here is a Total Love Makeover twist that you'll love. So tell me a random fact about your hometown that nobody really knows or cares about. I love this twist because yes, it's a fun way to ask where he's from, but it also gives you a glimpse into his humor or lack thereof. You're asking for a random fact that people rarely know or they don't care about. So if he picks up on that, he may offer a response that's quite funny. But just as a side note, if you're going to ask the question, be prepared to answer it as well. First date typical question number 3. What do you do for fun? What do you do for fun is not just boring, but it's also way too broad. Most of the time, people just end up saying, well, what do you want to know? And that's awkward. Instead, offer this twist. So when your road dog comes into town, you know, your best guy friend, what do you guys do to live it up? Okay, I love this twist. Why? Because not only does it give him a point of direction, it's specific, but you also get to hear about his friendships. And that's important information to glean, especially on a first date. When a person has good, solid friendships, they're less likely to get into a relationship and make the other person their everything. So what if he tells you he doesn't really have good friends? Well, put a spin on that one too by saying this. No best buds in the man cave, huh? That's cool. What do you do to live it up? Typical first date question number 4. So tell me about yourself. Once again, this is way too broad. He has no clue what you actually want to know. So it's important to give him some direction. And when it comes to first date questions, your aim should really be to frame things so it doesn't put too much pressure on the person answering them. It's a first date, not an interview. Here's a more specific, fun twist. Would you consider yourself a book, TV, or movie guy? I love this twist because it's really focused. And depending on his answer, you can throw in really fun follow-ups like this. A TV guy, huh? Okay. So tell me, what are your can't miss, must-see live, do not disturb shows for this upcoming season? This is a fun, easy way to keep conversation going, and you may end up with some good book or entertainment suggestions. Now, if he tells you he's none of the above, that's a perfect opportunity for you then to say, so what, sir, does captivate your time? And towards the end of the night, we find our 5th and final typical first date question. So when can I see you again? No. Remember how I talked about first date questions being framed in a way that they don't put pressure on the person answering them? Well, just consider this a pressure cooker, honey. Not only is when do I get to see you again a pressuring question, but it's also pretentious. The real deal is he may not want to see you again. Here's a twist on typical first date question number 5. Now keep in mind, you may have to read between the lines a bit here. However, it does provide an open door to talk about future plans. So how does your upcoming week look? Busy work schedule? Now often when a guy is not interested, he'll give you cues through his terminology by saying things like, oh, I'm really busy. I have absolutely no time. But that also could be true. Either way is helpful for you because you know he's not going to be texting you, calling you all throughout the week because he's already told you he's busy. Now, if he tells you he's not and he doesn't have too much going on, it may be a green light for you to press a little further. A great follow-up to this is saying something like, well, I really had a great time tonight. Let me know if you want to do it again in the near future. I'd totally be up for it. You're not putting the pressure on him to tell you when you guys are going to get together. What you did was tell him you enjoyed yourself and that you want to do it again. These 5 total love makeover twists on the typical first date questions should score big for your next first date. Girl, you never know. That could be your last first date. So keep the conversation going. Did you like this video? Girl, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. In addition, if you're ready to go deeper with me, make sure to go over to totallovemakeover.com and join my mailing list that I call The Dressing Room. Now, inside The Dressing Room, I'm giving one practical application each week that is geared and designed to get you out and closer to the love you want. If you're interested, hit up totallovemakeover.com or just check for the link in the YouTube description box below. You can have the love you want. Sometimes it just takes doing something different to get something different. So if you're ready to do the work, girl, I am more than willing to help you get there. Until next time.